talked about in a previous installment about not hiking your punch up, also called winging, also called rearing back. Well, we're going to look at this a little bit more right now because it's very relevant to this whole discussion of rotating and twisting. So in boxing, we want to have our arms tucked in, protecting our body, having a good guard. And we want to rotate, and we want to come straight out. We're going to stretch our punch, stretch our arm out, straight out. Nice little stretch, but with our knees bent, back straight, straight out. No hiking. Hey, baby, go my way. We don't need to hike. This is good for protection, but also is good for power and for not telegraphing your punches as well. But we really don't need to hike. It becomes a temptation to hike when you arm punch, because when you just arm punch, you always feel like you're not getting enough power, because you're not getting enough power, because you're not rotating properly. So we want to create artificial power. So we want to rear back, and we want to throw ourselves into the punch, fall into the punch. We want to lean into it. So we want to create artificial power. We don't need to do that because we're getting our power from twisting and rotating. So when you're twisting and rotating, you have your elbows and your arms behind your body at all times. They never come out this way. They're always, no, we're not squeezing our arms together, giving ourselves a horrible hug, trying to break our own ribs. No, they're just giving us a nice little hug. Feels very secure. I'm just relaxing. They're touching my body, they're relaxing. And I don't need to hike them out. When you rotate, it's very natural to just come straight out. Very natural. Jab, across. See how my elbows are behind my body at all times because I don't need to create artificial power. As we just said, the core is where we get our power. We leave our core and we try to come out here and hike. We're going to tear something, pull something. It's going to be unsafe, both in injuring ourselves by pulling something and also because we're dropping our guard. It's going to be unsafe for our face as we're getting punched all day, as we have a bad defense. No, we're going to have a good defense. We're going to have good power, and we're going to rotate. We're going to use our twisting power. We're going to come straight out. Nail our opponent, and come straight back in. Straight out, straight back in. Let me tell you a real funny story about hiking. I was taking a martial art called Penjak Silat. I was studying knife fighting. I was really getting into it, so I wanted to get some extra practice in. And so I went and got my big Tonto blade. It's like a samurai sword, but a knife version of a samurai sword. Very nasty, very penetrating. And I took it and started practicing with it. Well, obviously when you're trying to get more power, you got to go way back here, right? You're going to get more strength, more power if you really hike it up and then let it rip. Well, you see where I'm going with this already, huh? So I went way back and I blasted into my target, my practice target. Went way back, blasted into my target. I did that a few times and then I got a little too close to my core, which normally you want to do, but not when you're hiking a big blade behind you, which is a bad thing. Well, I buried this right into my thigh, this huge Tonto blade, and about halfway through into my thigh. I said, okay, we're done practicing for tonight. And I put my knife back up and I limped out to the car and I drove home and I said, honey, told my wife, I said, don't be upset, don't freak out, but I stabbed myself just a little bit. She started freaking out. I said, don't worry about it. I got it covered. We're not going to go to the emergency room because I'm a good guy. And duct tape solves everything, right? I'm just going to duct tape it on. It'll be all right. We don't need to go to the emergency room. And my wife said, well, let me take a look at that. She looked at my leg and she saw bone. She saw a layer of fat. I didn't realize it looked like cottage cheese, but it does. And muscle. And she said, are you crazy? We're taking you to the emergency room. I'm like, no, just duct tape it. No problem, we just duct tape it up. and it'll be good to go. She said, "You're crazy." Suffice it to say, she won. We went to the emergency room. They sewed my leg up, and they had to put a lot of stitches in my leg. And I was limping around for quite a while with my cane until my thigh muscle healed up. What's the moral of the story? Well, not just with punching, with really any kind of fighting arts, or really anything in life at all, no matter what, you should always have good body mechanics. But if I would have started at my core, and my teacher scolded me later, but if I would have started at my core and had the knife at my core, I would have got a lot of power. Not my core by hiking, because when I was out here I was intentionally trying to go away from my core. So I was actually losing power. I was taking time to get to my target. I was telegraphing it. This is quieter, sneakier, faster, deadlier, more powerful in boxing and any martial art, in knife fighting, or really anything you're doing. The core is the way to go. And I wish I would have learned that or sooner. Could have saved myself a lot of injury. Also, when my arms and my elbows are behind my body at all times, it gives me more structural stability. It gives me more power. It gives me more safety for my body. It puts my body behind the punch instead of just my arm. When I hit something, instead of my arm taking the resistance, my whole body's behind the punch. Wing Chun people make great issue of that, and rightly so. It gives you a lot of power and a lot of stability, a lot of safety. Jack Dempsey made a big deal about this in his book, Championship Fighting, and he called it your power line. He said if your punch is behind your power line, it's going to be a lot more powerful. Your core, your center, that's where your strength is, your hips, your shoulders. Powerful, great offensively, defensively, speed, power, safe from counterpunching, all around good technique. So finally, for the final phase of our look ma no hands exercise, we can finally add the arms back. I kept saying that, and now we finally get to do it. I'm a man of my word, keep my promises. So let's add the arms back into the equation. But let's make sure we're doing everything we did in the previous phase. Let's use our feet, anchor pivoting to get our rotation. Let's use our hips, trying to drive our hip into the hole. Our punch, our shoulder, we're popping our shoulder. And our arms, we're keeping our arms behind our body at all times, not hiking, coming straight out. Now let's strike the back. All one solid, smooth hip. You can throw a jab, cross. Maybe even talking about the right cross or the rear punch. But just feel that. I want you to practice that 7 times. Putting all this together, put it all together. It doesn't have to be hard. We want good technique. As we said in a previous video, use that center knuckle. Put the whole thing together. Everything I've been teaching you about, the whipping punch. Put it all together. Add the arm. Come off the guard. Push, pull. Push, pull. You can add both if you want. Push, pull. Push, pull. Push, pull. Your thighs, everything. Well, until our next installment, remember, the more sweat in the gym, the less blood in the ring. This is Todd, the Wildcat Christopher at TacticalBoxing.com, signing off.